Yo, Magic Mike in that mix. You tuned in to Magic Show Deluxe Syndicated. You know what I'm saying? We got my man Saint Laz.
What's
Saint
good, my
Laz
bro?
is Saint Laz got his YouTube channel popping, right? He's been doing some crazy interviews. I know this man for a minute. You know what I'm saying? We did some projects together, things of that nature. We did a mixtape together. I want to introduce once again my man Saint Laz. How you doing, bro?
What's goody, my bro? What's popping with you? How you doing?
I'm doing excellent, man. Just had to transition over to different things. You know how the world is. You know what I
You
mean?
already know.
Sometimes
That's
the
good.
world, sometimes the world puts you in places you don't want to be, but you're there
That's a
for a
fact.
reason.
That's a whole fact. It's a
So,
whole fact, bro.
so, so how you doing, my bro, man? Last time I talked to you was like, I don't know, a couple years ago or last year or something.
I'm
And
good, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm just on my grind, man. You know, I'm always on my grind, man. You feel me? I'll be doing my YouTube stuff, my Instagram, my TikTok content. You feel me? I just be grinding it out, bro. You heard? Just trying to get it, just trying to get that big bag, man. Same mission. Same mission, man. Trying to get the big bag.
like everybody else is trying to do at this moment. It's crazy how digital just everybody's getting digitized right now. Some people were in high places in the analog world, and they just got switched over to the digital world, man. What's going on here? Like, what's going on? Everything just changed up.
Yeah, the world moves fast, man. You got to get with it. You heard? You got to get with it. That's the science behind hip hop, bro. You got to be able to hop on what's hip. You feel me? Or the world gonna pass you by, bro. You know what I mean? This world moves fast, so every 2, 3 years is like we in a whole different generation. You feel what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's like you got to be able to hop to what's hip, bro. And that's hip hop. You know what I mean? You got to be able to stay with what's going on and what's popular.
You know, you've been also managing a couple artists, King Taco, right? Big ups to King Taco. We played his track a couple times, you know, when on the airwaves and things like that. But let's talk about like what you've been doing. Are you managing artists now? You got the YouTube channel. Like, what's popping?
No, I manage one artist, man. That's my bro King Taco. I'm about to start pushing the bro Buck out there real heavy though. You heard, but I manage the bro King Taco. That's my guy from Buffalo. You feel what I'm saying? Mexican R&B artist. Son just don't do nothing but make hit songs. When I heard even a third or fourth of his catalog, I was like, nah, bro, we gotta do this together. You feel what I'm saying? Son hollered at me, for management or help pushing his music. And when I heard his music, I was like, nah, we got to go in, bro. Nah, I mean, cause son don't make nothing but hits, man. So I had to, I'm not going to say I manage any artist, bro. He got to really be exceptional. And son is exceptional. So that's why me and son is rocking out. But yeah, shout out to my bro King Taco, man. We got some big records. I got a record with Neo, me, him, and Neo. I got to send that your way, man.
Okay, okay. Now, putting all that aside, right? What really got me going here, right, was your interview or you know, you were talking about a rap. You know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna come out and say it. You interviewed, you were talking about a rapper named Mano, right? I've interviewed him years ago, right? And you kind of exposed what the game has become. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people throughout the years, we thought they had all this money, we thought they had the houses and stuff, but all this is coming out. You know what I'm saying? And I find right now is a time where everything's coming out about certain artists that we looked up to. Like there's a kid that works at McDonald's. If he works there every for 2 weeks straight, he's getting paid more than your average rapper. You know what I'm saying? So what happened with this Mano thing? You know what I mean? What happened here?
I mean, um, that Mano situation, man, that just, it stemmed from the Talib Kweli video. We got a song, me, Talib Kweli, and that brother. You feel what I'm saying? And it was Talib Kweli project. He threw me on the project or whatever. We went to the video shoot, and I come to find out Mano was doing some snake shit. Record. First of all, I'm sorry, I forgot I can't curse, but I don't. I never met Mano. Don't know Mano. We never hung out. We was never locked up together. We never did none of that. You feel me? So I got a sense of humor. You heard if somebody that I know that's one of my mans is, joking, cracking a joke on what I got on my sneakers or this and that. I know how to laugh too, bro. I'm in the business where I make fun of myself all the time with my skits and my content on Instagram and TikTok. I'm a funny dude. I stay making fun of myself and laughing at myself. So I got a real good sense of humor. But if I don't know you and I never met you, you know, don't play with me. And basically, Mano thought it was funny to record me at the video shoot. While we at the video shoot for a professional, we trying to be professional here. He thought it was funny to record me on the low talking about my garments and post it to his a million, probably fake a million followers on Instagram. And I didn't find that funny at all because I don't know that brother. Me and that brother has never spoken. And this is not the first time where I felt son was hating. Like I felt son been hating for a long time, and this just was the straw that broke the camel's back. But me, I'm a professional dude. I'm a good, easy to get along with dude. I don't look for no problems. I don't start with people. I don't do none of that. I don't start beefs. I finish them. You feel what I'm saying? So son did what he did, and I felt disrespected by that. Like, you don't play with me at all, bro. You don't know me. Don't play with me like I'm not dangerous. You feel what I'm saying? So, son learned the hard way. But as far as, materialistic stuff, I don't know what dudes have and what dudes don't have, but I know when dudes ain't rich. And I know when dudes ain't cakey and they acting like they cakey. Like dudes ain't cakey. So, when a dude start want to talk about clothes and garments and all of that, all right, so let me go get the big giant magnifying glass and let's analyze your money situation. You know what I mean? And when I analyze a dude money situation, it don't be what dudes be acting like it be. You feel what I'm saying? So dudes don't really be in no position to talk nothing about nobody else. You feel what
So
I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying, Laz. Also, okay, you did mention, right, in like when you were exposing Mano, right? Like I got a whole different light about him now after what I heard in that segment of yours. Is the fact that dude was trying to send you pictures of his Lamborghinis, his cars, and all his material items. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Trying to convince you he has all that. But I already know you talk to people. People have already exposed them. And I've already known that in the game. Me and you've been in the game for a minute. A lot of people wearing fake jewelry. Now it's out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Music's garbage. What they wearing is garbage. Everything. The whole game is, I could say the whole game's done. You know what I mean? I'm just picking up the remnants trying to keep this thing alive, you know?
Yeah, people that come from the era that we come from, they still holding on to a lot of the dumb ish. Now, you feel me? Realistically, bro, and jewelry and the whole science of jewelry. Like, it's all business, bro. Like, it's many of rappers that we grew up to loving, and they had on fake stuff that, this it was for the business, bro. You feel me? Like I mean, personally, I'm not spending all my money on no jewelry. You feel what I'm saying? So, I rather it's been times where I wore fake stuff. Like, I'm keep all transparency. Every rapper out there, they lying if they tell you, yeah, I ain't never had on no fake chain, or I ain't never throw a chain on for the looks of the camera or whatever like that. Bro, it's part of the game. You heard? But we gotta come to grips and understanding at the age we're at right now, that none of that stuff is really important. It really doesn't make you. It doesn't make you a better rapper. It doesn't make you a better person or any of that, to have a bunch of jewelry and all of that, especially at the ages that we in now, bro, because you know, um, it just represents financial irresponsibility. And we all was responsible. I was irresponsible with money in my day. I done messed up money. I done spent a bunch of money on jewelry, real jewelry. I done spent my last $5,000 in my pocket just so I can get a nice chain on my neck. We all have done that. You heard? Because we come from a culture where we look up to stuff like gold and diamonds and all of this stuff. We came out that Jay-Z era. But in reality, when you become a grown man with kids and a wife and responsibilities and bills and stuff like that, you realize and understand that, you leave that as part of the rap game, but really it's not financially smart to waste your money on these things that you really, really do not need. You feel what I'm saying? So, you
But
know,
even the message growing up in hip hop, there was never anything but employment. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get the money? You know what I'm saying? Legitly. It's always illegally. And you know what I mean? Like, now we're older. We're older now. We're grown. We see it for what it is. You know what I mean? We don't tell younger kids to keep doing what they're doing. We're trying to better ourselves. You know what I mean? But in all saying that, Mano's a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Why would he be acting like that? You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, yeah, and that's a good question because you know, I had to ask myself that, like, bro, you 50 something years old, bro. You know what I mean? Like, why are you being so childish and dumb? So, the reality is it always was hate. You feel me?
Hmm.
Sometimes in this business, bro, and in life, there'll be people that been hating on you for no reason for a long time, and you can't even figure it out why they hating on you. But it's just some form of jealousy. And I feel like, a dude like Mano, and I don't really want to keep talking about this dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't want to talk about it.
on this
Yeah,
interview.
yeah,
I'm not talking about on this interview. I'm just talking about in general because
yeah.
everywhere I go now, dudes like, yo, Laz, you know what I mean? Forget about that
But
clown.
Laz, academics featured you. Hussein Campbell. Like the list goes on. Some of the biggest podcasters took excerpts of your show, of exposing him. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't I didn't see academics
Oh,
academic.
they talked about all that, bro. I'll send you all that, man. You know what I mean? You should go
And
look
it's
that
like, yo,
up.
listen, bro, let me tell you, I'm a good person, bro, and I'm not in the business or in life to hurt people's feelings, make people feel bad, expose people, make people look like clowns. I'm not with none of that, bro. You know what I mean? I'm a righteous dude. I'm a cool dude. I don't want to see none of that for nobody. But when dudes, incite stuff with me, then I take it to those levels, bro. But in reality, I don't mess with nobody, bro. I don't care what somebody got on. I don't care if your jewelry is real or fake. I don't care if your clothes is real. I don't care, bro. You understand what I'm saying? I do my stuff, you do your stuff. But when a dude go out of his way to show hatred, because bro, listen, in life, sometimes a dude hates you, but he really don't have nothing that he could say about you.
That's
You feel
right.
what?
It's
So
because of the grind, right? You had a hip hop network. You know what I'm saying? On cable TV in New York. You know what I'm saying? That's bigger than being a
yeah,
rapper. You know what
I
I'm
had that
saying?
shit. I
You had
had
a
that
movie,
shit.
you had a series.
Yeah,
This
I had
and
that shit
that.
in 8 cities, bro. I had that in like 8, 9 different cities playing at the same time, Pottersfield TV. But what I
Pottersfield, big ups to Pottersfield TV. That's what I'm talking about. And the list of artists you took out of Pottersfield, aka Brownsville, and the list goes on. So obviously, you're gonna have a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying?
know with the Mano situation, it's like, I thought about that and I had to really, analyze the situation. What it is, son always been a hater, and it come from, I'm gonna tell you what it really comes from, bro. It comes from me being a real rapper and him knowing that I'm a real rapper that really spits that heat, and he knows that he's not really a real rapper that really spits that heat. So he always had a little chip on his shoulder about me because I'm a real rapper.
Mhm.
And he probably always know that in my head, in the back of my head, my nigga, you ain't on my level of nothing when it comes to music making.
Mhm.
So son probably had a little chip on his shoulder for years and years because it ain't just this one incident. It's been times where I've noticed hate about me from this dude. I'm like, yo, this dude is a hater on the low. And
Mhm.
it all came to a head. And it really comes from a dude feeling like, I'm a real rapper. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? When you a real rapper, sometimes these street dudes that elbow their way into the game, they not really rappers. They're
Mhm.
not talented. They're not really recording artists. They just thugs and street dudes
That's
that can
right.
rap. So
That's right.
dudes like me, that's a real rapper that they seen put out Starve the Ghettos and 50s and better, like just big songs that really sound like real rap songs. Sometimes a dude don't like you for that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He don't like you
Mhm.
because I'm a real rapper. And I feel
Mhm.
like that's what it was with Mano. Like he just always knew that I'm a real rapper and he's really not. And it bothers him. So he never really wanted to show me no form of love. Like explained, time when Son was on the Math Hoffa show. Shout out to Math Hoffa. I
Big up some
was on,
Matt Hoffa.
yeah, I was on Math Hoffa, and I'm sure Son was hating on that. But it's
Yeah.
like, Son was on Math Hoffa talking about my YouTube channel and just refused to mention my name. So right then and there, I already knew. But when I
Mhm.
saw, like, nah, this dude really is a hater. Like, you feel me? Like, you see, you sitting here talking about my whole channel, and people on my channel, you ain't even shouting out your own man's that's on my channel that be shouting you out 100 times. So it was a lot of hate, bro. You feel
Mhm.
me?
Mhm.
It came to a head, and it is what it is. And
I
like
know,
I
I know what you're saying, Laz, right? Like, I'm good at what I do. I experienced a lot of hate. I had to make my own lane. And, when I made my own lane, we're still going. You know what I'm saying? We still got people still trying to malfunction certain things, right? But we still keep going forward, right? And without the haters, that means we ain't doing the work, right? So, hey, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, Laz, right? We're going to play a video by your man King Taco, right? And we're also going to play a video from yourself. But what's your social media? How can they get a handle? What's your handle so they can get a hold
King
of you?
Taco, King Taco social media is King Taco NY. King Taco NY. You feel what I'm saying? He's on TikTok and Instagram with the same handle.
He's got a video out right now, right? Let's play one of his tracks. What track do you think the world should hear from him?
And son got so much joints, it's crazy. But
But a video we could play on this network.
TLC, man. Oh, TLC might have. Let me think of something that actually has no form of profanity in it or anything like
It
that,
don't
man.
make a difference, man. Don't make a difference. Just any track. We can fix all that up. Yeah.
TLC, man. The bro got a video called TLC, and he got another video called Shot of Liquor. Both of them is top 40 platinum
Check this
material.
out. We're gonna hear King Taco TLC right now on the National Deluxe Syndicated. We're right back where my man Saint lies. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I don't wanna see your heart cold, nah. I'ma set you free, let you go, yeah, but you're really priceless to me. You steady begging me, please, still want you all over me. Yeah, you really don't want no scrub. Fuck all the money, only want your love, it's free. While my mind is fucking with me, you running circles in my head every day of the week. You had it bad, chasing all my love. How could I be done? But you got it, yeah, you got it bad, chasing all my love. How could I be done? But you got it, I want that love that's true, Adam and Eve with no fruit. Got me thinking about your smile when I sing in the stew. Let me take you on a space shuttle straight to the moon. When we come down, crash land right in the room. Baby girl, look into my eyes, show me what you do. Tell me about your week, you got my attention, a clear view. When I'm kissing on your body, you get me in good mood. Slow it down when I go down south, chop the screw. We both know.
And we're back, man. King Taco, how did you meet King Taco? That's a hot track, hot video. How'd you meet him?
I met King Taco, man, because back in the days, he hollered at me and we did a song together. We did a collab, but this is when Son kind of just was rapping. He wasn't really singing yet. And then years later, I would see Son online and on Facebook and stuff and remember him like, yeah, I remember I did a song with Son or whatever. And one day, Son hit me up and he was like, yo, Laz, man. He was like, you ain't hear my music in years. He said, but, I've been putting out some real serious music and I'm really trying to make it in this music industry. I need some help, bro. You heard? So in my head, I'm like, yo, I ain't got no time to be, pushing nobody music or none of that, man. I'm tired of this music stuff. You feel me?
For
And
sure.
yeah, because I've been doing this for 26 years, bro. So I was happy when I blew up on YouTube where I didn't have to rap. I've
But
never
aren't you tired of the saturation? You know what I mean? Because it's just so much, so much. I remember a time in the golden era, a little bit, after that, it was like a gift. You know what I'm saying? And a brother put an album out, you look at it, you actually got the physical copy, you know? Now it's just disposal. You know what I mean? An artist lasts what for 3 days? Next artist, next artist.
it's
So
fast food.
obviously, it's making you sick. It's making me sick. You
Yeah.
know,
It's
tired of it.
fast food rap. It's just like fast food. If you eat too much of it, like yeah, you might enjoy a burger from Burger King every once in a while, but if you eat that shit, if you eat it every day, you're gonna
Yeah.
get disgusted of it. And it's the same thing with meaningless music. It's a lot of meaningless music in the business. Not everybody. Some people
Mm,
out there still dedicated to making good quality hip hop, but the percentage is very small. So
that's
when you
right.
constantly hear a bunch of fast food rap, you get sick in your stomach the same way you would get sick if you had to eat fast food each and every day. Imagine if you had to survive off a Dunkin' Donuts food every day. You
That's
understand?
right. That's
Eventually, you
right.
will go crazy. So it's the same thing with hip hop, bro. It became so saturated with so many garbage people. Like
Mm.
it made me say, this is and then the drill rap and the kids killing each other and all of
I,
that. It
I
made me
want to talk to you about how Brooklyn has changed. The sound of Brooklyn. You know what I mean? It's really changed. Like big ups to Pop Smoke. He's an originator, right? But it seems like after Pop Smoke, you just had all this, no disrespects to Brooklyn, right? I got family out there. I love that borough, right? It's just it's a lot of garbage coming out. You got your boom bap. Yes, there's a lot of boom bap niggas coming out. You know, you hear all the new stuff. We're getting all the new material. Big ups to Snow Goons. Big ups to everybody supplies me the music, right? But I'm just saying, when you think of New York hip hop, Brooklyn hip hop, it's that drill thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Me personally, I missed the whole drill era. Like, I was not into the drill rap stuff at all. Never been, so I don't really know the history of it, and the players and who's the dude. I don't really know because it came from Chicago, bro.
That's right.
Dude who was like, this is New York City. Like, I'm not into doing nothing that no other city is known for. You understand what I'm
But a
saying?
lot of people said New York let it happen when that Southern trap was happening. Like BT Uncut, you would have like New York rappers doing that Southern trap. I'm like, what's this all about, right? And then everything just changed up. And hip hop's universal now. It doesn't matter where you are. You can make your own different sound, right? But when you got Noriega trying to get into a club and nobody knows who he is, right? That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of
Yeah,
the new generation, they don't want to know who we are. They don't want to pay attention to who did it first.
that's why, bro, everything is written in the book of life. Like this video with me, Talib, Kweli, and Mano, as much as it was, hate and tension between me and Mano, that video that got almost 70,000 views on YouTube. It's going crazy on social media. Like, everybody is loving it. If you go to this is the craziness, bro. People miss real hip hop so much instead of the corniness. If you go in the comments of that video, the Go Brooklyn video with me, Talib Kweli, if you go read the comments, bro, all you see is hundreds of people like, yo, this is fire. Yo, I love this. Yo, yo, we bringing it back. Like, people miss the old sound, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro.
90s hip hop is huge now.
Yo,
It's
bro,
bigger than ever.
not just 90s. My era, bro. I was influenced by the 90s, but my era is really the early 2000s, like, or
Yeah,
what is considered the 2000s. That means from 2000 to 2010. That was our little era. Every
that's right.
decade got their sound, but my sound is the early 2000s. We talking about Stretch Armstrong on Hot
Stack
97, King.
bungles, stack bundles, whole works.
Yeah, you talking about that sound. And I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. If you see what's going on right now on TikTok, it's starting to go viral. Like, there's a kid that's going viral, just making a mean face to all like making a scrunched up face because the beat is so hard
Mhm.
to all 2000 beats.
Yeah. The younger generation, if somebody on YouTube does the same thing, like, listen to his father's old CDs, and he was listening to Cellar Dwellers. A lot of people don't know about Cellar Dwellers, and the beat was hard. Same thing with, Mob Deep. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot beat that. Different type of
Coming back,
equipment,
bro.
different type of equipment. Even if you try to do it now with today's technology, you're not gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? You're just not gonna get it. I really
Bro,
think, I really think we should really still, mess with the digital, but come back with those big machines again. You know what I mean?
bro,
Like
it's
big
coming back.
compressors.
The sound is coming back, my bro. Like, history repeats itself in life with everything, with fashion, with everything. Things come back. And I'm gonna tell you something. That
Hmm.
early 2000 sound, that 2000 sound period is coming back,
It
bro.
is. It is coming back.
People loving it, and they realizing that era was the craziest era. So it's like, it's crazy for dudes like me, bro, because I'm sitting on a catalog about a thousand songs
Hmm.
from that era. And maybe 600 of them people never heard before. You feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's crazy because I'm sitting on the stash. It's
Yo,
like,
listen, I sort of interrupt you, man. I'm just thinking about some of the tracks that you put out and I've listened to that you've given to me, right? I just want to talk. What happened to your old members of Pottersfield? You still talk to them?
oh, my bro Bucker. Bucker is one of the most known members of Pottersfield, the bro.
Yes.
That's still my guy. We still get it in.
He was ill, man. He was so calm, laid. Yo, listen, bro. Let me tell you something. You should repackage. I'm letting you know something right now. You should repackage all 10 tracks of your greatest tracks. If you got the stems, go back in it, mix it down, right? I'm telling you, you got Bucker. You got the other brother with the shaved head, the dark one. What's his name?
You had Bucker, you had Hangman, you know what I mean? Opium,
Hangman.
aka
Big ups to
Hangman.
Hangman.
You heard
Yes.
those was the main man. My bro
Wooden
Wooden
Soldier. What
Soldier.
about Wooden
You
Soldier?
know,
Was he part of
I
it?
spoke, I spoke, man. You know, son is I think son down south now. But you know, dudes got older, had kids, had family.
R.I.P. to
I mean,
Chuck Burns, though, man. His sister
yeah,
messaged me and said he passed. You know what I mean?
rest in
Damn.
peace, my bro Chuck
And
Burns,
then you
man. He
got
gonna
Big
live
Bob
forever, man.
Patterson. Then you got Big Bob Patterson. R.I.P. to him. You know what I mean? That
Big
hit me
Bob,
hard. That
rest
one.
in peace.
That one hit me hard, man.
Yeah, Big Bob, rest in peace, man. Chuck Burns, rest in peace,
Yeah.
man. I got a whole bunch of songs with Chuck Burns.
I
Yo,
got.
listen, I got a playlist.
Yeah, bro.
I got a playlist on all streaming platforms called Major Saint Laz Bangers. If you type that in, Major Saint Laz Bangers on whatever streaming platform you listen to music on, it's gonna come up with a playlist of about 200 joints. And those 200 joints on that playlist, bro, they ferocious. And I got another 200 I need to upload. But the ones that's online right now, ferocious, bro. Some of the best music. And you got
I wanted to add this in. Chuck Burns had a sample, right? And he told me to let it go for 10 seconds. And I put like a little drum behind it, right? He jumped on that. It's on my Reverb Nation. Nothing came from that. I just put it out there as it is. And then we did a mixtape together, me and you. What is it called? The Prophet of New York? Street
yeah, that
Prop
was
or something
dope.
like that on Audio Mac?
That need to be re-released. You
Yes.
heard that mixtape
Yes.
needs to be re-released.
No,
That's
no,
fire.
listen, I don't even know where the link is. You gotta send me that link. I got the raw version, right? But it's in the archives. I don't feel like going into the archives. I'm too busy, right? But
But
the cover of that mixtape was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That was a
oh,
crazy
man,
tape.
I don't remember exactly what was on it, but I know we had that joint with Hellraiser, that grandmother's
Yes,
place. We
yes.
had some fire on that, man. We had some fire on that for real.
Yeah, man. That era, man. Hellraiser was part of that era too, because Sons of Man was hot in the late 90s.
Yeah,
And then when
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser went solo dolo, Killer Priest and all them, that was early 2000s. That was your era. So you were, plus MOP was still coming out with crazy fire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. Nah, definitely, man. Definitely. I
Last,
mean,
last, what do you want to do for the future? Like, what's your plans? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people say the older dudes, we just fade away. You know what I'm saying? I saw this real Gen Z character. I don't want to mention his name, but he said all the old school guys should just fade away. Just put up a post every month, then we know you faded away. I really wanted to put a comment underneath, but I said, nah, I don't want to be flagged, right? But what do you say about these? I'm not disrespecting Gen Z. You know I love you all. I love everybody. I respect all y'all music, right? But we're not getting the respect that we deserve here. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about these younger generation that don't want to go and look up the history and pay the respects and try to change up the game and try to make try to change up the stories now. Like Tupac is next thing you know it, 20 years from now, Tupac won't be black. He'll be Asian or something. You know what I'm saying?
yo,
They'll
bro.
just change it up. They'll change
Yeah,
it up, man.
bro. If we don't stay on top of our own history with this joint, it will be erased, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Because we live, the internet changed everything, bro. When before the internet really came about, cities had their own little sound, and cities was known for those particular sounds. But when the internet came and everybody was able to tune into everybody's city, the culture spread. And you got dudes that's on some East Coast shit that's in LA, and you got some dudes that's on some West Coast ish that's in New York. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So it kind of turned the culture into one big melting pot with the
That's
internet
right.
stuff.
That's
But
right.
you do have a percentage of young people out there that they refuse to not know what real hip hop is, and they
Mm,
find it by any means necessary. Because I got dudes that's 26, 27 years old, and they be hitting me up like, yo, bro, I'll be listening to your joints, they fire. You feel me? Like, if
mm.
something is really fire, people gonna find it. It's just
That's
like,
right.
back in the days when we was finding our parents' records, and you understand what I'm saying? We put them on ourselves. Like, hold on, let me hear this. And we
Yeah.
found some fire. You feel
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I'm at an age where some of the old school stuff that I play is before my time.
Yeah.
So somebody will be like, "Yo, how you know about that? You ain't that old." You feel me? But when
Hmm.
I was young, I had an appreciation for music that came before me, and there's always going to be those who have an appreciation for the music that came before them. You feel me? So I don't feel like um the culture could never really die because there's always going to be people out there that really do this real music stuff. It's like, you know, you got artists like Tyler, the Creator, right? Like, you know, my daughter is 17. Like, you can't tell her that Tyler, the Creator, is not the greatest rapper that ever lived.
He got Tyler. He got some dope tracks, though. Still,
He
you know what I
got
mean?
fights. My point is, it's like you gotta let these young people have their goats. You feel me? We had our goats. You gotta let them have their goats.
That's
but
right.
I'd be happy to see dudes like Tyler, the Creator, wearing old school sweatsuits with big chains and Kango hats and all of that.
And then some of his beats are sampling a drum machine. Some of them he experiments
and
old school.
It's not like he trying to front like he an old school rapper, or you know, he just is a product of hip hop. And I like to see young people that still embrace the culture of hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? So when I see dudes like him and I see my daughter into him, I can't get mad, bro, because you know he may be a new age dude and all of this crazy shit, but son is still keeping it hip hop.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
He's the biggest on the planet.
And you gotta realize too, right? A lot of the new generation using FL Studio. We call it Fruity Loops, right? And I heard about Fruity Loops 2.0, like back in 99, 2000. That's old news for me and you, right? Okay. Now, if everybody's using the same software and everybody's copying the same artists that they like, no wonder this thing ain't expanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's doing it the same. Try producing something. I tell all these kids all the time, why don't you try using Cubase or something, right? Off a MIDI keyboard. You know what I mean? You don't always have to do things in FL Studio. Like, I'm just giving them, you know, advice. I'm not trying to change the way they do their things. But like I said,
MPC though, even the MPC,
they
got a new MPC out. Like, you feel me? MPC, they Akai, that company or whatever, they got a new MPC out that's bananas.
That's right.
You heard?
That's
so
right.
you got a percentage of people out there that they on that new MPC, bro.
That's right.
They on that new MPC. You feel me? I've heard dudes with Fruity Loops that, you know, they made beats where I can't
there's nothing wrong with FL Studio, but experiment with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like everybody's using FL Studio the same way. But yo, Laz, we got like 5 minutes left. What's your social media? And I want to play one of your videos from early 2000s. But what's your social media so they get a hold of you?
You know, I'm on Instagram at STLAZNYC, and I'm on TikTok at ST.LAZ. You heard? Know what I mean? And I got a bunch of stuff, bro. And you know, I'm back on it. Like, I'm about to drop a new video. Shout out to the bro Ken Do 718 from Williamsburg. We just did a new video for a new song that we got that's about to drop. That's gonna be fire. Me and King Taco got a new video out right now on social media called.
Oh, you're freezing up, my man.
Like me.
Oh, you're freezing up, Laz.
Yeah, you can hear.
I can hear you, but you're free. Yeah, I can hear you. You're freezing up.
Hold on, man. All right, let me go from over here, bro, because every time I come over here,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Let's go back to the spot. But yeah, my bro, you give off your social media. They can watch, you know, some of your, you know, interviews that you're doing up on YouTube. And I want to play one of your older videos, man. Let me name me a video you want to hear right now. Track you want to hear. Audio will play the track, but right now we're doing TV. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, because that is big right now. Visuals is everything. My man knows that. But what track you want, you know, people in the whole world right now to tune in to be heard by St. Laz, Pottersfield?
You know, you can play that 50s and better, man. That's a classic Pottersfield joint. Me, the bro Bucker, and the bro OP. You heard to that album.
What track is that?
50s and better.
50s and better.
We had back in. Yeah, that's one of our most popular group joints. And I happened to run across that video yesterday. I was like, damn, this joint, I gotta put this joint back out. You heard? But it's bananas though, bro. I mean, check that joint out. It's bananas.
Why'd you call it 50s and better? 50s and better. Why'd you call that?
Oh, because it got that sample in it from I think what was that Full Metal Jacket or Platoon? I can't remember what or Hamburger Hill, one of those Vietnam movies. They got that sample that What do we get for $10?
Oh, Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah. So it got that sample. Like, what do we get for $10? And I'm like, yo, nothing much over here. 50s and better over here. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why we call it 50s and better, because it's like we saying we ain't got nothing but 50s and better on the block. You feel what I'm saying? But that video is crazy. We OG. We filmed the video. It's crazy.
I wish I could know the name of the track. There's a track with you, Bucka, and Hangman, right? And it was like, man, I can't even explain the beat, man. Right? It was 808s, right? But it was the version of 808s back in the day. It was, I mean, I gotta tell you, man, you got classics beyond classics, my bro. You got classics beyond classics. Keep doing your thing. Your catalog is worth a few mil. I'll tell you right now, your catalog is worth a few mil. See, here's the thing, though. I really think that whole 90s sound, early 2000s, that is futuristic. To me, that's futuristic, right? The sound was futuristic. You know, nowadays, I think we went backwards. That 808 shit, that's from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So all we did was bring that all we did was we're revamping, we're retro revamping. But I really think, you know, your projects, the projects in the early 2000s and the late 90s, I think that's futuristic to me. And I think all that's coming back as we speak, you know?
It is, bro. It is, bro. I really feel like we returning back to an era where people get ready to start appreciating real music again. You feel what I'm saying? It's coming. I see it coming, bro.
Yeah, well, you're in New York, man. Where are you right now? You in Brooklyn right now?
Nah, I'm uptown right now.
Uptown. Man. So you're in New York. You're seeing the way things are going, right? Whatever comes out of down south, you guys are picking that up. You really see that people in New York City, because I love New York. You know, I'm East Coast all the way. I live right on top of y'all, right? Like, do you really see it coming back in New York? Do you hear people bumping that old school in their cars? Like, do you really feel it coming back in New York?
Yo, bro, you know what's you know what we gotta realize. I do see it coming back. What we gotta realize is when we came up, when we were young, hip hop was still young. So it wasn't the type of party where, you know, you have 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds still into hip hop because hip hop wasn't around that long. But now that we're them ages, you got dudes 60 years old, 70 years old.
Listen to hip hop.
Grew up off of hip hop. They came up off of hip hop, bro. So even at 70 years old, they still in their cars. 60 years old, they still in their cars.
One and everything.
Bumping Bismarck and Kane and KRS-One. I'm doing that too. So it's like now that we're in 2025, bro, hip hop has been around for a long time.
That's
when we were young, you know, we got 1 minute left.
I don't even want to cut you off. I don't even want this interview going when it's going, but we're gonna hear your track 50 and Better by St. Laz and his Pottersfield, you know, what is it, Hangman and Bucka, right here on the Magic Deluxe Syndicate. Anything last you want to say real quick?
No, man.
All right.
On social media.
All right, St. Laz, 50 or Better, right here on the Magic Deluxe. Thank you once again, my bro.
Appreciate you.
LAZ nigga, Bucka, Pottersfield, Opium.
What do we get for $10?
Nothing much over here, bitch. 50s and better on this side, you heard? Yeah, we stuff a brick in a pit bull last, and we cut them open, say last what I'm hoping. I'll be open off the tech smoke, get about the hood, that's your best hope. You don't want a chest hole, let's go, nigga. P-Phil, Fetty boys, hoes say we all gas, we the Getty boys. Ready boys, we them both believe dough makers. I would never tell a po how your hoe rape us. No fakers in the team, we will prove something. And the way the ooey scream, it'll move something. Who running to the Jake on the down lazy? I ain't oil up the 8, but the pound greasy. Clowns see me and they play with them screw faces. They don't know how them bullets go through faces. They hate us cause we rocks on the shit. And I reps Brook Norm on my big shit. Sick shit, we spray it. Last, yeah nigga, Brownsville, Dykeman. Now I mean Pottersfield, man, niggas ain't doing it like we doing it, nigga. What up?
Hey yo, crazy nigga OP low key. Keys, OZs, dubs, dimes, my criminal mind corrupt. Town, uptown, Dykeman, PJs.